You saw it this weekend. Wrestlemania 38 just went down. 2022. Got some photos here and links from CBS Sports, also from WWE. I saw the hype around this. Brandon Davis over at comicbook.com just live tweeting basically the whole thing. Tell us about you, Giggler. What was your experience? What were your top things that came out of this? And tell us about, just
First
WrestleMania 38.
I can't wait to go to this someday.
Never have?
100%. I've never been. With the Royal Rumble, I hope you had a great time there earlier this year. But that's
for your birthday, yeah.
That's the build up to WrestleMania. Can I hold my belt while we?
Please. Here. This is a good time for you to. This is essentially Super Bowl, right? This is like Super Bowl wrestling.
Yeah. This is the show of shows, as they call it, and they didn't disappoint this year. This was very celebrity Hollywood, but I'm fine with that because I really haven't enjoyed the WWE product lately. As far as the wrestling and the storytelling, but
you've been let down.
They brought. I mean, I used to watch it every week. Front to back.
I remember.
Some weeks that would be 10 hours of wrestling.
Early pod days. I remember doing the math, and I was like, I think Andy's watching 10 hours of wrestling a week.
Now I've switched that over to more productive things, but I mean, I'm still paying attention to what's going on, but my biggest draw here was return of Stone Cold Steve Austin. He was one of the...
Oh, man. The Texas
legends.
Rattlesnake.
Yes. And he headlined night one with it was a guest appearance with Kevin Owens. They were supposed to be just an interview. All of a sudden, it turns into an actual match challenge. And I was like, in my head going into it, everyone's like, Stone Cold, it's been 19 years since he's wrestled.
A long time.
It's not going to happen
Crazy.
again. He has a neck injury you wouldn't think that a man of that age could handle.
Busy with his show and his podcast.
A
couple of shows. Yeah.
He's all over the place, which is another rean to admire him. Like he's got his own beer line. We'll get to that later.
I mean, his whole thing is the smashing them and pouring them.
Yeah, he's a. I mean, that's why I look up to him so much.
And what'd he do? What was his big thing?
So they went on and did a full on match.
Yeah.
Where I didn't think he was going to take any hits or bumps or anything, but he straight up got thrown onto his back on a concrete ground. Put on a great show. We saw a lot of stunners. That's his finishing move.
That's his move. Yeah.
Man.
He defeated Kevin Owens. There was a scene. My favorite part of it. He rolled up on a 4-wheeler. Down the ramp and ran around the ring.
That.
This man just knows how to work the crowd so much, and he did not disappoint. Like at one point during the match, Kevin Owens was on the 4-wheeler, but like passed out, and he got on it behind him, rode up to the top of the ramp, and just started kicking his ass up from the top of the stairs down back to the ring. Takes the victory, and then chugs 42 beers in stage. It's just this iconic. He only drank probably 12 ounces.
I was going to say,
mess.
Once he smashes them together,
they
dumps
go
them on his
everywhere.
face, he's probably not getting a whole lot.
You're down to less than one beer.
Yeah.
But
either way,
it was awesome. I mean, this trumped everything else that happened. There were some other.
So the main thing was Roman Reigns, right? Roman Reigns. I mean, he wins.
That was night 2, the closing of everything. Like the
okay.
Stone Cold
So this
was night
is
1,
and that was okay.
But yeah, Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar was the main event of night 2. Roman Reigns took down both titles. So he's the double champion, which has not happened in like 8 years or so.
Nice.
So he's going to be a busy man defending those.
So
what's going to happen going forward? But
what 2 belts do they have now? I know it used to be Raw and SmackDown.
That's what they are basically.
Okay.
He's unifying them into one, or maybe there might be one champion on both, or each. Who knows? They switch it up all the time. They can't figure out what they're going to do. But there was a lot of other like celebs that were in here. Like Johnny Knoxville had a full on match against Sami Zayn that all the Jackass characters came out. At one point, Wee Man did picked up a grown man and threw him. I couldn't believe that he pulled that off.
Because Johnny Knoxville's been doing that for a while. He showed up to Royal Rumble, right? They got all the Jackass out there.
That was the lead, and that they showed up for the match again, and I think he won. Also, Logan Paul did a match with
oh my god,
The Miz against Rey Mysterio and his son, and he was wearing a $5 million Pokemon card around his neck.
Oh my god!
Thing like during the match,
the rarest Pokemon card of all time.
Supposedly, he looked like really like I mean, he's a great athlete, and I doubted his boxing skills, but Then Pat McAfee, another podcast guy, he fought Austin Theory. Stone Cold came out to drink more beers, stun more people. And
did he stun Vince?
Yes, he did.
Yes.
It was actually one of the worst ones ever because Vince effed it up so bad.
Oh, he's so old.
He actually started falling down early and then didn't fall and then kind of like tried to bounce off the ropes. It was, people were calling it out as one of the worst ones ever, but it was preceded by maybe the best one ever with Pat McAfee. He had beer in his mouth. They like chugged a beer together, had beer in his mouth. He did the little kick in the stomach, which is how he gets him down. And he basically it looked like a fountain of beer was erupting as he got
a Triple H ring entrance.
Yes,
nice.
it was awesome. But I loved it. I had so much fun watching, and obviously I'm taking a little break out of my vacation to peek in and see what was going on.
Yeah, I was saying you were in Milwaukee during this for a bachelor party. Like you were just catching it when you guys were out and about.
Yeah, I didn't watch the whole thing, but I peeked in and watched a lot of recaps of everything that I wanted to see.
Sure. How would you rate this WrestleMania?
I'd go, I don't know. It's definitely it's not one of my favorites. I think it's really tough to go back to how it used to be, but I had a good time watching it. It was probably top 5 maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you think it'll ever be as good as it was like back in the day? Like
I
when
hope.
you say back in the day, you mean like 80s, 90s?
Late 90s.
That's tough. It's really
early
tough.
2000s.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, Cody Rhodes had a big return from AEW. He basically left WWE like 6 years ago to start his own company, and now he came back, and that was a pretty big deal.
Okay.
Man, was it that long ago?
Yeah.
That was a long time ago.
Yeah.
Where it's a big deal that he's back. It's been so long.
Yeah, he bet on himself, and now he's making.
You feeling old, Scott?
I am feeling old.
Yeah.
Super old. What do you think about old Roman Reigns here? You like him?
I like him. Yeah. I was a big Shield fan back in the day when they were around, and
got a pop quiz for you.
Here we go.
WrestleMan.
Bring it on.
Who was the first person to unify those titles?
Probably Chris Jericho.
That's correct.
Wow.
Yes.
Way to go, Andy.
Then Daniel Bryan, maybe.
He knows the next one, I guess. Now you're just showing off.
Who did Chris Jericho beat to unify those titles?
Chris Benoit, maybe?
Nope.
Who?
Stone Cold and The Rock.
Wow, both of them.
Yep, in the same night.
Big.
How could you do that?
Yeah.
All right, WrestleMania 38. Sounds like it was pretty good. Stone Cold probably spiced it up quite a bit, but it still sounds like they need to crank it up in the future.
Yep.
That's what I'm hearing. All right, Andy, thank you for the review. Bring us, I guess, into sports, I guess. That's sports.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Sports section.
Sports.